Welcome to the Smart HVAC Marketing Podcast, the podcast for HVAC contractors who are ready to quit screwing around and begin growing their business. Powered by Rival Digital. On this show, you'll hear from industry leaders and become equipped with the tools and knowledge you need to build a world-class business. Now, here's your host, Eric Thomas.
What's going on, everybody? This is Eric Thomas. I'm the host of the Smart HVAC Marketing Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I think this might be episode number 80. So we are really chugging along through these episodes. Thank you all for tuning in over and over again on these episodes. If you're listening to this right now on Apple Podcasts, I am going to continue asking you guys to please leave us a review. This is completely free content for contractors, so we appreciate any feedback that we get on the show. So thank you all for listening in, and thank you for your kind reviews. A topic that has been super popular over the past year and a half, almost 2 years, I'd say now, is indoor air quality. Obviously, there was a small pandemic / virus that came through the United States back in 2020. I'm sure some of you may have heard of it. But yeah, that really kind of stirred up some discussion on the importance of indoor air quality. And today we have just the guests to talk about this topic. We've got Lisa Schutz and Jeff Bailey from RGF Environmental to talk about indoor air quality. Hey, y'all, how you doing?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you, Eric?
I'm great. So let's go ahead and get some introductions going. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you already know who I am. So we will get our guests to go ahead. Lisa, why don't you start us off and introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit more about yourself?
Okay. Yes, I'm Lisa Schutz. I'm the National Sales Manager at RGF Environmental. I've been here for 10 years now. And like Eric said, things have changed quite a bit in the past 18 months. So we welcome it.
Yeah. Jeff?
Yes, so my name is Jeff Bailey. I've been with RGF just for about 6-7 months now, and I'm the Western Regional Manager, and I'm based out of Denver.
Awesome. So are both of you you're based out of Denver, and I know Lisa's in Florida based on the trees I see in the background there.
Yes, that's correct. I'm at the factory. Our factory manufacturing facility is here in Palm Beach County, Florida. We manufacture everything for all of our products here. And we are a global company. So this is for everything that we ship overseas, et cetera, is manufactured right here.
Yeah. No hate on Denver, but I would love to be in Palm Beach.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely nice to be here. I mean, I woke up yesterday morning, it was 39, and I got here, it was like 85. So definitely a change of pace for sure.
Jeff, I have to ask, did you fly to Florida just for the podcast recording?
No, sir, I did not.
Oh, dang, I was about to be flattered.
It definitely was perfect timing, though, for sure.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you all for joining me today. I'm excited to dig in a little bit deeper. For those of you listening who are curious about how this podcast opportunity may have come to light, I actually met Jeff and Lisa at Service World Expo at one of the events. And they were kind of on their way out, and we just started talking. And I was like, "Hey, you guys should be on my podcast." And so here we are. So super excited that Service World Expo was able to make this all happen. I'm looking forward to next year's event, or the one in the spring if you're going to that as well. So let's dive into a little bit more about indoor air quality. The service that I'm sure a lot of contractors have been familiar with in the past. Selling UV lights and doing duct cleaning and all that good stuff to help improve the quality of life of the air that you breathe in your home. So Lisa, why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about the importance of indoor air quality and how contractors can benefit from offering it as a service?
Absolutely. Well, the importance of it is for all consumers and homeowners, business owners. Awareness has grown tremendously over the past 18 months. But there's still a lot of things besides the pandemic that we need to be conscious of the air that we're breathing. We spend 90% of our time indoors. New homes and buildings are so airtight that everything just stays trapped inside and keeps recirculating. And so basically, addressing the situation and providing a service to your customer is an added benefit as a contractor to be educated on this industry and the things that are available for their customers.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much that, like you were saying, in some of these new construction homes and even in homes that are older and just not as efficient as, a newer house would be, you get a lot of stuff built up in your ducts. Some people don't change their air filters, and they swear that they change their filter once a month, but we all know it's about once every 6 months. And so they're wondering why they have, what's the saying that they call it, where it's like building sickness or something like that, or
Yeah, sick building syndrome.
sick building syndrome. That's what it's called. And so that's something that, like, everybody I feel like has experienced that at one point in their life, if they ever worked in an office setting and they never really knew what it was. But now sick building syndrome is, well, super well known because of COVID, but also maybe not as super as relevant because people are working from home now. So what's been, Lisa, what's been kind of the general trend that you all have seen with people working from home and staying home more often, and the effects that indoor air quality has had on their life?
Well, I think being at home all the time, and people were really aware of the condition of their home and the air they were breathing, especially with COVID and all the stuff that they were hearing that's being, no one really knows how it's spread. They say through your air system or it's not. So there's just a lot of different conflicting information out there. So as a homeowner, I think people are becoming more aware of, let's just be proactive and have a solution to help us with the air we're breathing. And they were more aware of it even when they were going to the grocery store or to shopping or to school. So I just think awareness on the whole has really increased.
Yeah. So Jeff, I want to talk a little bit about some of the products that you all offer. So there's obviously been an increased demand in these type of products. So why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the products you offer, and then also how they can benefit homeowners?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think our two really biggest products we're really most well known for would be our Remy Halo and our Halo LED. These are both in-duct whole home air purification systems. So these are really just a single unit you install in your AC supply plenum, and it's going to purify the entire conditioned space of your home. So along with the air purification aspect, it's also going to help with increasing your filtration. So, kind of going back to changing your filters out, a lot of times, even if you do change your filter out every 30 days or whatever it may be, you're still only doing so much. A lot of the stuff in the air isn't even making it to that filter. So, especially through, like I said, Remy Halo and our Halo LED are really premier homeowner residential products. And they can really help with the air purification, bacteria, odors, viruses, and then helping increase that filtration as well. So to where your filter can actually be picking up more dust and be working more efficiently.
Yeah. So I remember when COVID first, I guess, when everyone started rushing home and, during the lockdown, I remember first hearing about the Remy Halos, maybe a little bit later in the summer or so, is when they kind of started becoming, I guess, a little bit more popular with, I guess, the typical homeowner. And I remember we have a client who decided we were going to really start selling these Remy Halos. So they went out and bought a ton, almost like the toilet paper problem, where everyone rushed to the store and bought 1,000 rolls of toilet paper. Well, some of these contractors went and bought a ton of these Remy Halos, and then they were like, well, now what? And so they were trying to figure out, how do I get these out of my warehouse and actually into people's homes? So obviously this is a marketing podcast. So I'd love to get some type of marketing ideas for contractors out there who maybe rushed to the store, and maybe not to the store, but rushed to the internet and bought 100 Remy Halos. And then they were like, oh crap, how do I sell these things now? So what's, I guess, Lisa, this might be a great question for you in the sales aspect. What's some good ways to advertise the indoor air quality, I guess the service as a whole, but then also being able to sell some of those products?
Absolutely. This podcast couldn't have come at a better time, because typically indoor air quality season kicks up in October through March. Really, it's more of an annual thing. However, contractors are really focusing on keeping homes cool during the summer. So they may not be given that added value to the customer offering it because they're just going so fast. So right now is really the time that they're looking to increase revenue and also provide a service to their customers. So when fall kicks around, we typically at RGF, we launch a campaign every year that has a lot of marketing materials, trainings, Zoom meetings, webinars to educate contractors and to pass that on to their homeowners so that they feel comfortable addressing the product of indoor air quality. I found that before that was always hard for them to how do they start that conversation? So we work on providing them tools to help that conversation get started in the home or business to get that going and to let them know, the contractor can give their information to the homeowner how important it is to be aware of that, along with all the marketing stuff that we can help with as well.
Yeah. I'd never thought of indoor air quality being like a seasonal thing. And that makes sense now because, like, especially in the summer, everybody's just that's go time for a lot of contractors. They're really focused on getting well. One, there's always the repair need, but also that's the time when replacements are. It's just the most popular time of the year for them to get a replacement job. So, and that makes sense because between October and March, I feel like I sneeze a lot, and it probably has got to do with allergens and stuff. So, going back to some of that product stuff, Jeff, do the RGF environmental products, do they really help with some of those allergens and, some of the pet dander and stuff like that kind of works its way into your system?
Yeah, definitely. So a few of our products like the Remy Halo or Halo LED, they use a low-level ionizers. So what these low-level ionizers are doing, they're just helping group particulates together. That'd be your dust, your dander, and your pollen. So by grouping these particulates together, it's making them heavier. So making them heavier, it's easier for your return system to actually pick these up and reach that filter. Or if not, they're just falling to the ground. But essentially what we're doing is we're getting these particulates out of the air you're breathing. So when it comes to people who suffer from allergies, I mean, it's astounding, the kind of comeback they can have after they've installed a Remy Halo. Just,
Yeah.
Not even with the purification side, but really just getting rid of all that dust, dander, and pollen from the air.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're a contractor out there listening to this right now and you're looking for ways to advertise, these products or the indoor air quality service as a whole, I think that's the way to go because, this is the time of year when people are sneezing and there's sinus problems and there's typically flu season, which, there's another illness out there now, which kind of is also in the kind of in the way of this season as well. So I would say definitely one of the best ways to advertise these from my experience is finding the average homeowner's pain point with their indoor air quality, something that most of them struggle with. If they have a dog, a golden retriever, for example, that has hair all over the place, that could be grossly affecting your air quality. That's something that you could advertise, 365 days a year, because there's not a seasonality for dogs to shed their hair. And then for the October through March months, then you begin maybe doing some advertising for, airborne allergens and stuff like that, to kind of help with just making a connection with the homeowner with a struggle they may have. So I know that, advertising for the big C word, COVID, is touchy, very touchy. It's a touchy subject because there's a lot of, there's just a lot of information around it, and trying to advertise it on Google and Facebook, I know from experience, can be very difficult. So what's a good way, at least I'll let you take this one. What's a good way, in your opinion, for contractors to advertise that the benefits of these products can help, remove those airborne toxins without actually saying it kills COVID or any of this other stuff that could get you in trouble?
Yes, absolutely, Eric. And you are correct on making claims regarding the C word, COVID. And I think really the focus needs to be more on a positive outlook. Basically indoor air quality on a whole is important, not just for pandemics that are going to be coming and going continually. So just being proactive to promote indoor air quality in general. A lot of our contractors, what they do when they go into a home, there's different things. They'll either do indoor air quality blast and really promote that 'tis the season of IAQ and making their homeowners aware. Or when they go into a home to do a service, they'll either bring our Remy Halo box in there or give them some literature or let them watch a video just to kind of touch on, oh, these are some added values that we have, protecting the air that you're breathing in the home for you and your children, etc. So I think there's a lot of ways to advertise and promote IAQ without just focusing on the pandemic issues.
Yeah. So how do you all, I guess, how do you all see the future of indoor air quality shaping up?
I think it's going to be similar to the way the bottled water industry was years ago. So, people used to drink out of the tap and out of the hose, and they weren't really concerned about the water they were drinking. So you fast forward, 30 something years, and it's a billion-dollar industry. People are completely aware of what they're putting in their body, what they're drinking. They have water filtration, bottled water, the whole 9 yards. So that's what we're seeing with indoor air quality. It's just going to become the normal. Everyone's going to be aware of it. They're going to be, needing and wanting solutions for it. So I think by not offering it, it's taking away a service from your customer. So I just think that it's just going to be the norm.
Yeah. What are some ways that you all have seen contractors do a good job incorporating indoor air quality services into like their service agreements or some of their other services that they offer?
What we see is some contractors, we have numerous contractors that are successful year round with, providing IAQ solutions. And what a lot of them do is they will, if they're getting a maintenance plan or a service plan, they'll then automatically include that into the cost, or it's absorbed into the service that they're providing. So the homeowner's getting the whole package. They're getting a new system. They're getting duct cleaning. They're getting a air purification system installed. And also they are just, just talking to people about it and putting it on their websites, doing blasts, showing that they are educated on it and continuing to be trained on the products that they're offering. That's very important.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning earlier that you all have, I guess, collateral or training programs and stuff for contractors. Let's touch on that a little more. Can you explain some of that in depth a little bit more?
Sure. In the training, we have reps all over the country as well as RGF factory support. They are continually getting with wholesalers and contractors direct and providing training. We also do webinar trainings here from the factory. So we offer numerous ways for contractors to get their technicians trained. And they could reach out to me directly or to their local reps, and we will set them up, whether it be in person or through a webinar. But Jeff can even speak on this a little because he's been out in the field a lot lately, doing a lot of training. So I'll let you touch on that as well.
So the trainings are really great. You really just kind of get all the AC techs together and really just go over like general information around indoor air quality. And then we kind of get into more our product specifics. And it just really helps them to, when they get into the house, they're very comfortable talking about, for one, indoor air quality, and then also how our products can, help them solve some of the problems they're suffering from.
Yeah. So how long do those training programs typically take before contractors can feel comfortable sending their techs into the field to do this service?
Typically, one 45-minute training is typically pretty good for most contractors. And then, every few months you follow up, kind of give them a new training and just make sure they're still up to date on everything. But typically 30-45 minutes, and they got a pretty good understanding of the product and the technology around it.
Yeah. So what are some other, I guess, on top of the Remy Halo, what are some other products or services that you all offer that kind of work in conjunction with, the indoor air quality stuff?
Well, we manufacture over 500 different products. However, with the indoor air quality space, we have our whole home HEPA filtration systems, which are great to couple with one of our in-depth purifications. So you get purification and whole home air filtration at the same time. Your standard UV stick lights, that's not going to really do much for the air in your home that you're breathing, but it's going to keep those coils clean and it's going to help with odors and stuff that may come from those coils. Along with that, we have our package. We have numerous types of units for different applications. So large commercial applications, we have package units and big commercial units that can be used in those spaces as well.
Awesome. And I assume that, most of these products are compatible with pretty much any type of system.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, Jeff and Lisa, is there anything that I may have missed out on that you all were hoping to cover in this episode?
No, but one thing I would like to add, Eric, back to that contractor and how they can incentivize their techs out in the field. We offer a training program here at our RGF. So if your contractors are trained and they take our courses, we have incentive programs where they can have an opportunity to get a unit for their home. Once they're experiencing how it works, they're much more comfortable to talk about it in the space with the homeowner.
Awesome. Cool. Well, if you're listening to this right now and you don't offer indoor air quality, I personally would recommend it because I think that it's something that everyone is going to begin, like you were saying about the water industry. I think here in the next, over the past 18 months in particular, but moving forward, people are going to begin thinking more about that air quality.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, Jeff and Lisa, what's a good way for our listeners out there to get in touch or connect or learn more about RGF?
Well, they can start with visiting our website at rgf.com, as well as giving us a call or sending an email and contact myself or Jeff, and we'll follow up with them.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all joining me on the podcast today, and I look forward to talking to you all soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Eric.
Nice being on this, Eric. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.